Good evening, folks. I'm going to open the Painesville Township Zoning Commission meeting for Monday, November 9th, 2020. Please welcome everybody, and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and
and
to
to the republic
for
for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty
liberty
and justice for all.
and justice for all.
Okay, we have three people. Roll call, please. Rachel?
Oh, okay, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Bailey McKnight,
Here,
John Hott, who is not here yet, Daryl Webster,
Here,
Amy Kosick, who is also not here, and Chairman.
I am here.
Okay.
Okay. Rachel or Richard, do we receive any general questions from the inquiry from the public?
No, I have not.
I have not received any.
Okay, then I'll skip that and I'll call the regular meeting to order. And Rachel did a nice job on the minutes. She sent them out. Anybody have any corrections or additions to the minutes that was mailed out? Hearing no edits or potential edits, entertain a motion for approval of the minutes of the October 12th, 2020 meeting.
I'll make a
So
motion
moved.
to approve the minutes.
okay, I'll second.
Okay, I got a second discussion. Roll call.
Okay, I'm on mute. Okay. Daryl,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Chairman.
Yes. Okay. Okay, well, we have three public hearings right now. Did we receive any information from the public on any of the three public hearings we have tonight? Rachel.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did we receive any mailing or anything from the public in regards to requesting to talk about any of these three cases?
No, I have
Coming up
not.
tonight. Richard?
I have not received any inquiries from the public.
Okay, then then I'll open up case 20.
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Richard.
We should not forget Harley.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't know Harley was here. Harley, you there? Sorry.
No, that's all right. If I had received anything, I would have spoken up, but I have not.
That's okay. I didn't hear you pop in, so I apologize for that. As
That's
you can
all right.
see, I can't see you, so that's, what can I say? All right. So since nobody has received any, nothing from the public on the cases, okay, I'll open up the case 20 ZC06, the text amendment for proposed changes from section 25 and 5. Rachel sent everybody a copy of Dave Radash's letter, and he had a chance to read it. And I think Richard, you or Harley, I guess revised the text from these various cases. I'm talking about 06 right now, and incorporated the commission's comments. Am I correct?
That is correct. I sent out some revisions, which I believe were in context with the recommendations of the County Planning Commission, and a draft 2 of sections 25 and 5 will result in moving most of definition 5.1, home occupation, to 14.02A1, 2, and 3, 15.02A1, 2, and 3, 16.02A1, 2, and 3, and 32.02D, 1, 2, and 3. Also, I have proposed adding definitions in line with the Planning Commission recommendations for contractor, general, contractor, specialty, and tradesman. So in the spirit of hearing what the Planning Commission had to say, these are the changes I have made since we last reviewed the text changes proposed for case 20ZC06.
Okay.
And because the changes that I wrote to propose to the zoning commission were only sent to the zoning commission this very day, I believe if the zoning commission is not comfortable at this point in time in making a decision on this case, but my recommendation would be to continue the case to the next meeting to allow time for the commission members to properly analyze the proposed changes as they have been proposed as of the moment.
Okay. Harley, you have anything else to add?
Sorry, I was unmuting myself. I would only add that Rich, and I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention this earlier, but Dave Radacci is trying to find the original document that they have for the figure that was pre-existing in section 6 in regards to fences.
Yeah.
And he would like us to remove the portion that relates to corner lots.
Okay.
Does that make sense, what I just said? It's
Harley, say that
figure
again.
6-1. Sorry, figure 6-1.
Yeah.
Dave Radacci is looking for the original document that they had created, however far back, to create this image. And once we have that original document, we'll be able to include figure 6 and erase the portion of the image that relates to corner lots in 6-1.
That'll be the next page, Harley.
We have the original image.
Oh, do we?
Right now, I can't get rid of the yellow background, but we will do that. I just didn't have the time today to search our document repository for the original JPG that we inserted as a picture. But we'll come up with that. Figure 6.6-1, the Planning Commission recommended that we retain that figure in section 6.13. In addition, they recommended that we include figure 6. What is now going to be known, or is proposed to be known as figure 6-2, which will be the line of sight safety triangle, which will be a companion piece to figure 6-1.
Okay, I think we're talking about two different cases here. I think the site triangle, is the site triangle in the case 08? We're talking about 06.
Oh, yeah, Harley.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry
I'm
about
looking at 06 and I can't find it.
Yeah, I got caught up in what you were saying, Harley.
Sorry.
Okay.
I apologize.
All right, so let's go back to 06 now. You incorporated the comments back from the Planning Commission, and I sent it to Dave today. The commission members have any questions or comments to staff regarding case 06?
And
Bailey or Daryl.
oh, Ri-
Point
you
of,
rec-
point of order, Mr. Chairman. I see that John Haught has joined us. I would ask that the secretary make note of John's presence and the time.
I got it. Thank you.
Hello, John.
Thank you.
We're in a public hearing right now in case 06, and Richard Richard he incorporated the changes that were recommended by the Planning Commission for this case into the various different sections, and he just sent the changes he made to our various sections to the Planning Commission for their review and comment. And then I was ready for asking commission members if they had any questions or concerns they may have to staff regarding case 06. And my question is, John, do you have any questions on concerns? Because unless I'm wrong, Bailey and Daryl had none.
I have nothing at this time.
I was going to ask. I wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
Rich said something about holding us over till next meeting to absorb the changes that were made, and he was making a recommendation. I'm just saying, do we want to do that?
Well, that's what
Are we sufficiently?
Daryl, you beat me to the punch here because that's what I was going to ask the same question. That's fine.
Okay. No, I'm sorry.
No. Don't be sorry. That's fine. I guess the biggest question is, folks, is we have these other two cases, and we tabled one from last time. We have to make a decision on 05. And if I recall correctly, the reason why we tabled 05 from the last meeting was because of the how all of these four are interrelated, and wanted to send all four of these to the trustees at one time, if I recall correctly from the last meeting.
Mr. Chairman, may I make a comment at this moment?
Absolutely.
Okay. From my perspective, we are engaging, we're walking down a path of making some significant and meaningful changes to our text in the zoning resolution. We've got a number of cases, and the complexity is that each different case represents a change that we think needs to be made, but also the same sections are referenced in more than one of these four cases that we have before us. One case you're going to make a decision on tonight. Three cases are being held for public hearing tonight. So all I can say is, because I have responded to the County Planning Commission recommendations for cases 20ZC06 and 20ZC08 during the day today. The case 20ZC09 needs work. The Planning Commission did raise some interesting and probably very valid concerns and recommendations. I would like an opportunity to do what I am able in order to respond to their recommendations on case 20ZC09.
Okay.
On the two cases where I have responded, that being 20ZC06 and 20ZC08, only if the zoning commission members feel confident in making a final decision tonight would I recommend that they do so. we have time. If you're confident, don't worry about sending it to the trustees, because the case that you have to decide tonight, 20ZC05, my understanding from the last meeting was that the commission was basically ready to send that to the trustees with a recommendation for approval, I believe, as modified.
Yes,
Um,
that's correct.
And if you do that this evening, I will prevail upon the trustees when they receive this to have an open mind to continuing this case until the other three cases come before them and they understand the full impact of all these zoning text changes, since some of the same sections are involved in different cases.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, so this, so we only are open up one case. This is 06 right now. I guess the commission has a choice to make. We can go with the recommendation of Richard and continue it till next meeting, and we'll probably have some comments or a approval by how we modified this case, and we have modified this subsections from the planning commission. So I guess what we need to do is to have the choice make. We can either continue or close the public hearing.
Well, if it doesn't create a problem, I would make a motion to continue it.
Okay, I have a motion by Daryl to continue case 20ZC06. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, Bailey second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, roll call please.
Okay, Daryl,
Yes,
Bailey,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Chairman.
Yes. So case 2006, folks, is going to be continued till next meeting, which is in December. Okay, which is actually December the 14th. Okay. I'll now open up case 20ZC08, and we're talking about that. Harley, this is the one that you've been working on a lot, so I'll let you talk to us about what happened. I mean, what changes were made between last meeting and this meeting.
Harley, you're muted.
Uh,
You are muted.
you got to unmute yourself.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. I did not make any of those changes between last meeting and this. Rich would better be able to speak on the changes made from
Okay.
then and now. The only thing that I want to clarify and add is I did have a phone conversation with Dave Bradacci regarding the figures, and what was ultimately discussed was the continual use of figure 6-1 with the removal of the corner that references corner lots, so that there wasn't conflicting information between our two figures in regarding the location in which fences are permitted on corner lots.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Harley? Thank you. I mean, anything else?
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Richard, I'm assuming this is basically what happened in the previous case we just had, where you made the changes and worked with what the county commission gave us as far as their recommendations, and you sent it back to them today. Is that correct?
I sent you a copy today of the changes that I made, which I believed were in good faith response to the recommendations of the planning commission. Those changes included accepting their recommendation that we rename heavy industrial to industrial common heavy and light industrial to industrial common light, and then correctly place them alphabetically along with library, comma, public in the alphabetical sequence for our definitions. We have added the definition for line of sight safety triangle, and we have additionally, besides having the illustration of the line of sight safety triangle in our definition section, I have added that figure or illustration as figure 6-2 underneath the figure 6-1 in our 6.13 fences section, specifically referencing this figure 6.2 will be used to determine fence heights on corner lots.
Gotcha. Okay. Anything else, Richard? Okay. Any questions from the commission to Richard or Harley?
Any
Okay,
reason?
hearing. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is there any reason to hold this one as well? But
Well, I think the same thing. I think Richard just sent to. He sent to the changes that he incorporated the commission's recommendations into the new into the sections and sent them back to Dave today.
Okay.
So just only achieved it today. So it pretty much we're pretty much mirroring what happened in 06. So I would assume that if the commission is okay with it, maybe to continue this case until we receive feedback from the planning commission based upon our incorporation of their recommendations of our initial, of this case.
Mr. Chairman, this will not go back to the planning commission.
No. Oh, I thought you sent it to the planning commission. At least they're your changes or not.
These are the changes I am proposing based on the planning commission recommendation. However,
Okay.
I would not want to ask the zoning commission members to make a decision on whether to recommend these changes or not based on the very short time that the commission members have really had to absorb the impact of these changes. This is another case where if the commission members are not totally comfortable making whatever recommendation to the trustees tonight, I would advise it would be prudent to continue this case and allow further absorption by the committee members on these proposed changes.
Okay. Hey, Richard, can I go back? A question for you then. And in case 06, you incorporated the changes, and you sent it back to the planning commission to look at what we did. You did. In 08, you incorporated the planning commission's recommendations, but you did not send it back to them to take a look at that again. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Okay. Any reason why you didn't send it back to the planning commission, or do you feel that what we did is pretty much follow them verbatim?
That is not usual practice to send it back to the planning commission. We proposed something, the planning commission issued their recommendations. I am proposing what I believe to be a fair and meaningful response to their recommendation.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
it's not my decision to make in the end. It's the zoning commission. So
I understand it is. I understand it's ours.
you
And-
guys tell me how you want to
Yeah.
handle everything.
Yeah, I understand that. And, you know, I think we just got these today. Or,
Right.
yeah, I think we just got these today. And I would, my opinion is, I think we should continue this. This is only my opinion. Continue this case. But I will be quiet and let the other commission members say anything. I mean, have any additional comments?
Well, I thought this was all part of kind of a package deal in some ways, that it kind of needed all come together.
Well, I think so, but I think what Richard's doing, we go to, I think Daryl, when we go to number 9, I think we'll an agenda. I think we'll be able to put all this together a little bit, if you follow me. I think,
Yeah.
and I think that's the reason why we tabled that last meeting. Case 05. But I think what Richard's going to do is, if we agree to send the 05 to the trustees and continue these, he would ask the trustees to continue the public hearing for them until they receive all 4 of them, all these other 3 cases, you know, with them, and so make that a package. And I think the changes that we have seen today, I think we continue case 06. I think with all the changes that we just saw tonight or today, if everybody in the commission has looked at it and absorbed the changes and feel the changes are fine, we can go ahead and close the public hearing. But if you feel you need more time to digest the changes that were made based upon the planning commission's recommendation, then we should continue this public hearing. So basically, what I'm looking for is unless there's any more comments or questions to the staff, hearing none, I think we should either entertain a motion to either close the public hearing or continue the public hearing. I'm talking about case 20 ZC08.
I think it probably makes this most sense to make a motion to continue the hearing till next meeting.
Okay, so Bailey, you're making a motion to continue case 08 to the meeting on December 14th. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, I have a motion on the table to continue case 08. Do I have a second? Okay. That means I have no second. That means that motion died.
I thought John, hold on. I thought John was going to second it. That's why I didn't say anything.
I did second it. I'm muted apparently.
Okay.
Didn't hear you, John. Okay, so John, you seconded, okay? Okay,
I seconded, yeah.
Okay, sorry, John, didn't hear you. My fault. My bad.
Can you hear me all right now? I did cut out a little while ago.
I can hear you now. Okay, so I have a motion on the table made by Bailey to continue. John seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Okay, Bailey,
Yes.
Daryl,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes. Okay, so we continue case 08 till next meeting on the 14th of December. Okay, with that, I will open up case 09 and ask the staff to give us what changes what changes were made based on the planning commission's recommendations.
Mr. Chairman, I did not have time to try to go through and make changes based on the planning commission's recommendations. Their recommendations were lengthy and seemed to be, to me, they were well taken. And basically, if I'm interpreting this correctly, they don't want us making too many changes to what we already have on the books, but they welcome us making room for used auto sales in the light industrial district, and so forth. So I'm going to work on those changes. I would ask the commission members to please continue the hearing on this to give us time to sort through and prepare an adequate proposed text change which lines up very nicely with the Planning Commission recommendations.
Okay. With that in mind, anybody have any comments or questions for Richard or Harley based upon case 09? Okay, we have a recommendation from the staff to continue the public hearing 09. We have not received anything from staff as far as how the Planning Commission's comments were that we gave them, and they came back with a good number of comments. I read over the comments over the weekend, and waiting for the staff to come back to us about their proposed changes. I think it's probably prudent for us to continue this case to next meeting in December. Anybody else have any comments or concerns?
I'll
Also move.
Okay. Okay. So I got John made a motion and Daryl seconded it.
Either way, it don't matter.
Yeah,
To
either way.
continue.
I don't care.
To continue, right? This will continue.
To continue.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, Rachel. Whoever did first, if you heard it better than me, whoever did it first made it, and one of the other two seconded.
Okay.
Okay.
Rachel, how are you recording that?
I've got a spreadsheet with everyone's name on it and who would put down for motion. I've got Daryl for motion and John for second.
Second? Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That will work. And we're talking about a motion to continue the public
Yes.
hearing, correct, folks?
Yes.
Gotcha. I don't want to make a mistake like I usually do, folks. Come on, cut me a break. All righty. I got a motion on the table to continue the public hearing 09 till December. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Okay. Daryl,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So we're continuing the public hearing. We have no more public hearings tonight, so we're gonna closing the public hearings right now. I mean, off. We have no site plan reviews. We have no new business. We have old business, case ZC07, the rewrite of the sign section. And so we didn't see any additional information from you, Richard. I'm assuming that you need more time.
Yeah, I am not sure. I believe I made corrections for Bailey had a number of issues that he presented, and I believe I made corrections to all the issues that Bailey addressed. However, in continuing to think through this, I'm just not sure in my mind that I haven't missed something, some major principle, and because we've got all the other cases going on and they're all important. Currently, the sign section has been working for us. It's not the best. and it needs to be corrected, but we can take our time on that. So I just want to keep that on the discussion table for the next meeting, and hopefully I'll have time to make sure that what we have proposed up to this point in time is what we really want to consider for our new sign section.
Gotcha. All right, then what I will do then, if anybody's fine with that, is we'll just keep it under old business and continue discussion. We'll get something from Richard maybe for us to review for next meeting in December. And if not, we'll wait till he gets time and we'll look at it in a future meeting. So if anybody anybody else have any questions for Richard on the sign section? If not, then I will go to agenda item number 9, which is address deposition of any closed public hearing. We have one. We closed public hearing Z20ZC05 back in October. We closed it. We didn't make a motion, and the reason why we closed it was because we had a public hearing on the last 3 that we went over tonight. We had a public, because 05, 06, 08, 09 were interrelated, and we were going to wait and see what happened tonight. But we got to make a decision tonight on this one here. Richard made as we were talking about this earlier in the meeting, he would recommend to the trustees that if we recommend the text changes that were talked about last meeting to them, that he would ask them to hold off on a continued public hearing until we got the other 3 companion cases to them. So, am I correct, Rich?
We're correct as far as the group of us in the zoning commission understanding where we're going to go with this. The zoning commission, unfortunately, must make a decision on how to recommend to the trustees to handle this particular case. I was just mentioning that once it gets to the trustees, I will ask them during their public hearing to continue that public hearing as long as it takes to allow this particular text amendment to be passed concurrently with other proposed text amendments that will influence the same sections, as long as we're talking about a reasonable length of time. The trustees do not have to accept my recommendation or the zoning commission's recommendation on continuing a public hearing or not. If they, in their decisiveness and understanding of the township and the zoning resolution, want to enact a recommended text amendment, they certainly can do that. They don't have to wait until other text amendments for some of the same sections come to them and they sort through them. But I'm just not seeing the probable sense of urgency for them to not consider continuing a decision, their final decision on this particular text amendment until some of the other ones come by them and they're able to analyze, you know, the whole picture.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess so if we closed it, we were closed. So my question, I guess, to Jason, I guess my question to you as the legal is this: if let's assume that we do not want to, I'm just saying for discussion purposes, we don't make a recommendation to the commission, but to the trustees to approve case based upon the case text being modified at the last meeting. What would happen then? We say no to that.
So you're saying if if the zoning commission just doesn't vote on 05 tonight?
Yeah.
Is that the question? It's a little unclear from the zoning resolution, but it does say that the commission shall, within 30 days after such hearing, recommend the approval or denial of the proposed amendment.
Go ahead.
That's the only choice you got.
Yeah, only choice you got is to approve it or deny it. Correct, Jason?
That's the way I read it. Yeah.
Okay, and if we deny it, then we have to go through the whole. We'd have to go through the whole public hearing again, like advertise it. It'd be like a whole new case. Correct?
Yeah, it would. They'd have to, make an application and start the whole process again.
Okay. So, yes, folks, we closed it last meeting, and if we make a motion to approve, we have to approve it based upon the modifications that came out of the public hearing in October. And I think I'm correct on that one. So, folks, any discussion on the case 05?
There is one point I would like to make the commission aware of. Section 8.06 of the Painesville Township zoning resolution states an application for an amendment to the Painesville Township zoning resolution or for the rezoning or reclassification of any property may not be filed more than once in any 12-month period by any owner or lessee of property within the area proposed to be changed or affected by the amendment to the zoning resolution. So with that in mind, my recommendation, especially since it was my impression at the October meeting when the public hearing on this case was actually closed, my impression was that the zoning commission seemed to be prepared to recommend sending this to the trustees with their recommendation for approval. I think that is the best way to go and proceed at this point in time, but that's only my opinion.
Gotcha. And I think if I remember correctly, folks, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that we were about to do it. I think I brought it up that we wanted to put these all together. So it was I'm the one that kind of pushed for to close it, but not make a motion to approve at that time. I think we were ready to approve it, to approve the modifications to the Planning Commission and make those modified recommendation to the trustees. So if the Planning Commission zoning members are in agreement with that on this closed case, then I would entertain a motion to approve case 05 as modified at the October 12th meeting and recommend for approval to the trustees.
So moved.
Okay, Daryl made the motion.
Yeah.
And I need a second.
Second.
John seconded. Okay, a motion to approve the case based on the modifications of the Planning Commission to insert the recommendations by the Planning Commission, and was modified at the October 12th meeting, and made by Daryl and seconded by John. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, Rachel, roll call, please.
Okay, Bailey,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Daryl,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes. Okay, we approve take the case forward to as modified to the trustees.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's number 9. Item number 10 is items to be held for public hearing. We have none. Number 11 is zoning inspector's report.
Oh, boy. I'm not even sure what to report, guys.
Okay.
Safe Store is very close to, they've got their application in to proceed with their building. The only thing I'm missing is the fee, but they assured me that by the middle of this month, the title to the property at Chatham and Menor Avenue will transfer, and they will be proceeding with securing their not only final zoning permit, but their building permit from the county. They're working through some stormwater issues with the county right now. We've got some Harley, I'm not even sure where to go with this one, but we have. Are you all familiar with the Meyer store that opened up in Menor at the former Kmart location?
Yes.
Meyer is interested in developing the property next door to Safe Store, in between Safe Store and the Emerald Plaza, as a Meyer gas station. It doesn't come anywhere close to fitting the zoning for the B1 zoning district. We're not sure how this is going to play out, but at some point in time, I believe Meyer intends to make a presentation to the trustees to assess the trustees' willingness to consider a potential rezone of the property to a zoning district which may allow, under a conditional use permit, the presence of a gas station at that location.
Richard, this is Ted. I have to step out for a minute. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Please proceed.
Okay. So, that's something that is going to be talked about here in the township. It may eventually get as far as the zoning commission. I have no idea. Until we put some things together and get a better idea of what exactly they're going to propose. I can tell you that Harley and I both saw their initial architectural proposal. Neither one of us really were impressed that it meets our main corridor commercial design guideline for Western Reserve architecture. That could be a large sticking point, but that's up to Meyer and the trustees. Well, maybe. The zoning commission is the architectural review board, so you guys are going to have a say-so somewhere along the line in this whole project. But I would think if the trustees are introduced to the project and are favorable toward it, that might assist you in coming to a decision when it comes by under your review.
Okay.
Who said okay?
That was Ted. I'm back.
Oh, okay, Ted. Okay. That's probably all I need to report right now. We've got a lot of business as usual. Permits have slowed down. Permit applications have slowed down, which is allowing Harley and I to kind of catch our breath and catch up on some stuff that, we have not been able to focus all that much time on.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like a welcome relief. We're progressing in our zoning software. Uh, we've taken a couple steps backward, but we think we have located the problem that has caused a couple backward steps, and it's not us. It's the software provider. They were kind of like missing the boat on something. But that appears to be getting straightened out. So, under all the circumstances, I mean, 2020 has been a difficult year. We got slammed with permit applications, doing all the stuff that we had to do to work with COVID and keeping people safe and everything. Violations have probably gotten even worse than they had been, and they were not good to start with. But we've got a lot of properties that are becoming distressed and have problems, and it's much more difficult under today's circumstances to get these people into court, and get the court's assistance in finding a resolution to their zoning violations and zoning issues on their properties. So, and I think some of the people, actually some of the offenders, know that it's more difficult to get them into court, and it's going to stretch things out in court. In other words, the courts are operating slower. So instead of filing a complaint and getting somebody in court in less than 30 days, it might be less than 60 days. So that's just the name of the game, and it's something we have to deal with. And, time marches on, and we've got a job to do. So we're all hanging in there trying to get it done. That's it.
Okay. No. All right. Thank you very much. Harley, you have anything to add, or he pretty much said everything?
Yeah, I have nothing to add, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right. Any further business to come before the commission? Hearing none, I'll ask for an adjournment. And next meeting is Monday, December 14th, 2020.
I have one comment before we sign off, if I could.
Go ahead, John.
The reason I was late tonight is because I was looking for the invitation. Now, I did see that invitation, I thought, earlier, and I've had a couple other organizations that with the same problem. Sometimes if they put an invitation so early, I flag it, but then for some reason or other, maybe I lose it along the way. It would be good if I managed to find a reminder tonight, and when I clicked on it, it gave me an invitation. But it might be something for the future. If we have to do Zoom type of meetings, then maybe the day of or the day before, we could refresh that invitation and get it out just a little bit earlier so it doesn't get covered up by other things. If you try to call the office, I don't know if anybody's in the office, but you don't get an answer on the phone. So, and this is the second time I've had the problem, but probably my problem because I've lost the invitation someplace along the way. And I had two computers open here and I was going up and down on them. I could not find it on either one. So.
Well, John, with that, what I usually do in mine, I'll get the invitation and it'll click to my calendar on my phone. And then what I'll do is on the day of, I'll go to my calendar, go to the day, and then if I push and if you open that day up, you'll see the time frame on your phone calendar for the meeting. And if you press the meeting time frame on your calendar, your invitation will pop up, and if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the word invite. Yeah. Hit that, and that tells you exactly what the phone number is and the ID to get in. Okay. So that's how I do it.
Well, I have a saved folder for Township also, so I could probably try that too. But I just left it in my regular emails, and then flagged it, so I thought it would pop out at me, but I couldn't find it, so.
For the video connection and the computer connection, I think the website address is always the same. What I'm not sure about is if you're dialing in, if the phone number that you're dialing into is always the same. I'm not too up on that. Sean would be able to better answer that.
I don't know. I got a shot. That's all.
Okay.
I was. Any other business coming to the commission? Hearing none. Okay, I will adjourn the meeting for the tonight at 7:29. Folks. And folks, enjoy your Thanksgiving. And we'll meet again on December 14th. Have a nice holiday and see you then. Take care and be safe.
Okay.
Right.
Stay safe,
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.
See you later.
Good night.
Aye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.